is happening, water signs? This is your girl Venus Archangel here with another love reading for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're unsure of your placements, go and check the description box below. And also, guys, please remember that these readings may not resonate with everybody, and that's totally fine. Okay. All right. Let's see what's happening in your love lives. Everybody's getting really long readings today, and I think it's just because of how the energies are. Okay. See what you guys get today. Are we going to be able to keep it within 10 minutes? Probably not. Probably going to get real today. Probably going to get real. Everybody's got some situation in which finding power. It's very clear that Mars is out of Aquarius, at least a nice bit of it anyway. Alright, let's see what's going on. Your love life, water signs. You know what to do, family. Pick the side that resonates with you the most. The other side would be the person that you're dealing with, dating, or in a relationship with. And the other in the middle here will be the relationship itself. And you have the Queen of Swords. It's the relationship, communication, again, information. But she's she's really good at communicating. She's the card for Libra. Now this person's very much in their emotions right now. There's no telling what they're doing here, okay? Like, not necessarily in the sense that they're being secretive and holding stuff in, but more so that they're probably not communicating, right? They're very emotional based. They're kind of under control. But they also have an idea of what they want, right? They're very stable in themselves in regards to how they are emotionally, right? Because they know how to control that. They're the master of that stew. They're very good at being able to allow the energies to go through them and pass through them, right? It could be that this person is in the process of managing their emotions, or this person's very focused on how vulnerable they are trying to master their emotions in the sense of being comfortable with their emotions, because the King of Cups is very comfortable with it. Now the Ace of Swords for this individual is like this person's starting something new. They have a new perspective, new way of communicating, new way of thinking as well. And I feel like this is clarity through the truth, right? They've got some sort of clarity here that can really help them move forward. And how this is affecting this relationship is obviously the Queen of Swords, communication itself. Let's see what's going on internally, because I'm gonna just pull them all, because I'm not sure what I'm feeling right now, to be absolutely honest with you. There's a lot of energy here that's like, oh, that's kind of going like, woo. So let me see. 7. This person's defensive. The Hanging Man. This is about getting some clarity of some sort of perspective, or a change of perspective. Queen of Swords. Reflective. How interesting. It's like everybody's going through something regarding truth and their individuality, right? It's like how it's affecting the relationship is almost irrelevant, because everyone isn't really focused on the relationship in general. Like, everyone's being true to themselves. Everybody has developing a truth, or developing some sort of identity right now. Now the situation with this individual is that they are trying to manage their emotions, trying to feel comfortable being vulnerable, because right now internally they're very defensive. They have the 7 of Wands. They're not really interested in dealing with other people. They're very protective of themselves right now, right? And I don't think they want to put themselves out there, because honestly, this is, they know the capacity of how they love. It's extreme, and it's it's intense for them, right? Not just for anybody else. I feel like they can control that, but it's intense for them. And I feel like they're very protective of that. They don't want to just attach or connect to anybody, because they feel very intensely. Now this individual is trying to gain a new perspective, in my opinion, because the Hanged Man is coming up in their internal energies. This is telling to me, but they're in a standpoint. They're at a waiting period. They're having to see something from a different perspective. They have a new perspective potentially, but they're now having to look at it from a different angle. This perspective from a different angle. there's also talks about waiting too, and the reason why I'm going there with the waiting is just because of this Four of Swords in this relationship aspect. There is a period of waiting. There is a period of reflection here. It's almost like this person's waiting on some sort of change, right? Some sort of action being taken, and I feel like it has a lot to do with this person potentially kind of putting up their walls, fending things off, perhaps when they don't necessarily need to, because the Queen of Swords here in the relationship shows that this is a lot of she could be rough, she could be very brutal, right? She could be like, look, like she just won't play with you at the end of the day. And I feel like there's a lot of seriousness with this relationship here. Seriousness because, in regards to taking a break, in regards to being separate, right? In regards to being individual by yourself. But this is a temporary situation. This is temporary. Let me take a look at the external energies here. I did not want to take the card with me. I was just trying to smooth out the sheet here. Y'all saw that? Or the blanket. Or the cloth. Alright, let's see. Oh. Defensive about the past. Uh-oh. Wow, this person's got major arcana all over the place here. And for the relationship itself, let's see what's going on. Ten of Cups. Everybody has their own truth. The Queen of Swords, she knows her truth. She doesn't compromise that truth either. It doesn't change, right? It's her truth. I mean, you can come to her, bring her some sort of perspective, and she may consider it. But the King of it's not. I guess it's not like the King of Swords, right? Where he wouldn't even consider it. He's just like, I'm good. Actually, I don't really need your perspective at all. I have what I need. Thanks. No thanks. Not sorry either. And I feel like this person, and I think this is about the perspective that comes in, consulting it and balancing out, because this is a card for Libra. I'm not saying you're dealing with a Libra straight up, but I have this feeling here this has a lot to do with perspectives that come in and that come out. Because she's faced with a lot of individuals that potentially need her help. She's faced with a lot of perspectives. She's the legal, she could be considered a lawyer in a lot of ways, right? Water signs. So, but she helps people. I don't know. To me, I also see her as a psychologist, to have you look at those emotions, to see what you could have done differently, seeing things from a different perspective. So the relationship right now, I don't know if y'all seeing counseling, but what I am seeing though is that there is a perspective here that both parties are now having to kind of look at differently, and more open to a perspective here. This person typically is having a hard time with, not necessarily having a hard time, but their focus is how they feel and how intensely they love something. How intensely they love someone. They're protective of that because they've done that in the past. They've had a wonderful relationship, a wonderful connection with someone, right? It's hard for them to be able to be open like that again when this has already happened. That's all that's coming out in their external energy. The past is in their external energy. That they're dealing with, what they're fending off, what they're protecting themselves from, is something like this again, where it's just the past, right? Where it's not happening now. They're single here. They're still perhaps even in love. And they're very protective of their emotions. They're protective of how they feel about something, about someone, the connection that they may have too. Now this person here has a new perspective, has something that they want to express potentially, but they have to wait on, but they're not necessarily sure on it. They have some sort of perspective change, or they have to look at something from a different angle, right? And it has probably a lot to do with their routine, their beliefs, their way of functioning, right? The structure of their life. Because this is a changing energy. This is about releasing the perspective that one had and gaining a new, being open and seeing a new. And I feel like with the Hierophant, right, you wouldn't be thinking outside the box with the Hierophant. It's more of like in-box thinking, right? This is religion and things like that. There's a pattern. There's a wash, rinse, repeat. There's no different anything with it, right? You don't just do wash. You don't do wash, repeat, then rinse, right? This is very conforming. This is very grounding, and I do have this feeling that there's a new perspective on what they're committed to, what they're willing to commit to, what they want out of their life, right? What is the foundation of their life, rather? Because the wanting part wouldn't come out from the Hierophant. You don't think about that here, but you do commit to something, or you have some sort of commitments, and it's like, what is authentic about this commitment that I've got here? Is it something I truly want? Is it something that I want to continue to to practice? Because the Queen of Swords is true to herself. She's very open. She's very honest. And the Ten of Cups is coming up in the external energies for the relationship. It talks about the ending of a cycle, ending of an emotional cycle here. This break, emotional break. But like I said, this does not last forever, and I have a feeling that this perspective that they've got, each person's got going on, has to do with something that's completed itself. This time of rest, this time of analyzing, reflection, has to do with the completion of a cycle. Has to do with some sort of family situation potentially. They would have to look at something very seriously. They're looking at their emotions in the forefront, as the external. Because the relationship, how is it being affected right now, is that there's no progress. Because there's some need for perspective on this situation, on this Ten of Cups, on the ending of a cycle, or how to end some cycle that they've got currently going on. It's like kind of being serious, like cutting the sword, like cutting the cord rather. But honestly, being true to oneself, true to each other, true to themselves. The King of Cups, he knows how he feels at all times. He knows he feels defensive. But the past is all he sees. The past is all this individual sees. The past is all this individual wants. But this thing is, it's like the past doesn't happen twice. But you can have the feeling from the past more than once, right? The actual past can't not repeat itself. And as much as this person may be trying to hold on to it, I feel like they're realizing that the situation, that what they can feel can come back, can happen again. This connection that they feel. But it's about being okay and being vulnerable with someone else. That's the hard part for this person. And I feel like they can. The thing is that there's boundaries that do need to come into place, right? The Queen of Swords, she has a boundary to protect her emotions. She's not emotional because she looks at her situation very logically. And I feel like the love for themselves has to change, right? It has to come up, it has to, to be protected, of course, right? The love of themselves will develop some sort of boundaries here. But the past can happen again, in a sense. Like the emotions that you feel, the happiness, this place of, of just pure bliss. That can happen. But if one is able to allow that in. Right now, there's not a lot of things being open. But it requires this person to feel comfortable with being vulnerable. And that's by loving themselves first. They have to love themselves. Not the past, but they have to love themselves in order for things to come in order for something new to happen, in order to end the cycle in which they're probably looking at old issues or looking at potential relationships and like, no, I'm still in love with this person. This person will never leave. This connection that this person has will never go away. But that doesn't mean you have to stay. You have to stay in this energy. And I'm not talking to just you, right? This could be whoever this is. And I feel like this person over here has a commitment, has committed to something, but that's changing. The changing of what they've been committed to for so long. Maybe it's time to wrap that up. Because is it truly what this individual wants anymore? Is it truly making any sense to continue? You know what I'm saying, water signs? It's a very difficult energy sometimes. But I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. The answer's within you, okay? Please remember this. It's always there. And allow patience and love and gratitude to everything that you've been through, everyone that you've interacted with. But don't be afraid to be true to yourself. All right, water signs, I'm going to go ahead and let you go, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye now.